How did that answer the line?
I believe I was the one talking to you about that Delta 1989.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, disregard that. Did you...
What we found out is that he was not a confirmed hijack.
Okay, I don't want you to worry about that right now. We got a United 93 out here. Are you aware of that?
United
that has a...
We've got 3 more hijacked airborne.
That has a bomb on board.
A bomb on board. And this is confirmed. Do you have a mode 3, sir?
No, we lost this transponder.
We have a bomb on board, Boston.
What we want to know is, did you scramble airplanes for that Delta 1989?
We did, out of Selfridge and Toledo, sir.
Did you? Are they in the air?
Yes, they are.
Is there any way we can get them to where this United is?
I cannot tell you where that happens. That's either U.S. Air Force or Navy aircraft, fighter aircraft, now on patrol in what we've described as the no-fly zone over New York City today, lest there be one more attempt. John, go ahead.
They've continued evacuations in the area now. They're evacuating Battery Park City, which is a large apartment complex taking up many blocks across the street from the World Trade Center. And they...
Watch, rolling all this and that sound. People
All right, we're going to go to Rick Armstrong. He's one of our photojournalists. He's down on the mall. Rick?
Hi, Buck.
What you got?
Not a whole lot other than the fact that the city is shut down. I'm at the base of the Washington Monument. Park police officer a few minutes ago told me they've shut down all the monuments. They're evacuating all the buildings, including the White House. I can look across the river at the Pentagon, and it's an incredible smoke plume.
Bet you everybody...
Emergency vehicles going in every direction. Look like Secret Service vehicles, fire vehicles, police vehicles. 25 years here, I've never seen anything like this.
What other unit calling?
3 Charlie.
3 Charlie.
4 Charlie, the operations post, the command post is going to be set up on West Street. They're moving completely out to West Street.
All right, the command post is being consolidated. Everybody's moving out to West Street. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm in contact with Chief Feehan and Commissioner Feehan, and that's where we're going to start moving out of further collapse zones.
All right,
there is now on that United 93.
Yes.
There is a report of black smoke in the last position I gave you, 15 miles south of Johnstown.
From the airplane or from the ground?
They're speculating it's from the aircraft.
Okay.
It hit the ground. That's
okay.
That's what they're speculating. It's speculation only.
Okay.
We're getting a preliminary report that United 93 hit the ground about 15 miles south of Johnstown.
We were just coming around the corner when it blew, and we just ran there. We couldn't see anything but smoke.
What are you thinking?
What we do not know is whether or not the Vice President and the National Security Team have stayed inside the White House Situation Room. We know that they were directing and monitoring operations from there as of just about 15, 20 minutes ago.
They can't get the guys in the tower. They can't get the guys that are in the tower.
Any unit operating number 2 World Trade Center at the collapse. Contact my hand on my radio forthwith. I caught 3-3 Bravo. We understand there's a major collapse. Can you give us some kind of report, Ken?
We're 3591 Pop Cleveland.
And 20 Victor Foxtrot. You about over that now?
We're coming up on it. I'm getting ready to call you with some coordinates. Do you want me to do that?
Yes, please, sir.
What's your name?
My name is Jason.
Jason. What's your last name, Jason?
Jason Johnson.
Tell me what you saw.
Well, I was working in the building, DC 37, working for the post. They evacuated the building, and when I came out, all you saw was flames. Next thing you know, people just dropping out the building. So I counted like at least 33 people dropping from just this side of the building. I can imagine what happened on the other side. And I'm just glad that none of my family in there. That's from what I know.
And as we were standing outside the building, we just seen the whole front side of the building just fall.
Boom, boom, that's all I heard.
That must have been such a terror to actually be here and witness this.
Yo, I done seen people get shot and stabbed, but this, I never seen
as
this
we know of,
before.
it was 2 planes that crashed into the World Trade.
That's what they said.
Somebody happened to the Pentagon, right?
Yeah.
No, what happened?
There's a plane that crashed in the Pentagon too.
Well, somebody had just told me when I was over there. They said it had to be a terrorist because he was outside when the first plane crashed. He heard the boom, and when they evacuated his building, he saw the second plane come. The second plane circled around the building, and then saw the building, just went straight into it. He said the second plane knew what it was doing.
Burns, smoke inhalation. The victims coming in, that when this fell, it hit a lot of other people. When the tower fell, a lot of other people got hurt. But that it's terrorism. They're looking for a third plane.
You'll be fine.
I can't see.
Don't worry, don't worry. Come on, come on. Where's your... Over here, over here. Over here. We're trying to catch everybody. Don't worry, don't worry. Over here. I'm holding you. I'm holding you. We're sending everybody towards the water house.
Okay, 20 Victor Foxtrot. Sir, can you give me a position on the activity there?
Yeah, it's guesstimating maybe 10 miles for 20 Victor Foxtrot, maybe 1,000 feet or so below us.
Okay, 1,000 feet below you, and it's in your 2 o'clock position, you say 10 miles?
Affirmative. It appears to be just a dark cloud like a puff of black smoke.
Okay, sir. I don't want to put you in any kind of situation, but can you see anything over there, sir? Do you see any flames or anything?
Negative on the flames. We don't see any flames. Can't see that much of the ground from here.
Okay, 20 Victor Foxtrot, you can descend at your discretion, maintain 5,000. Sir, do you have GPS on board? Is there any way you can give me any kind of fix on this?
We do have GPS. I don't know how we could give you an accurate fix without flying over the position over there.
Okay, sir, I don't want to put you in any kind of situation, but if you can think you can fly over it, you can have whatever altitude you want and give us the exact GPS on that. That would probably help us out.
Okay, we'll head over in that direction, and we're going to 5,000, 20 Victor Fox.
Okay, 20 Victor Foxtrot, let me know when you get there, sir, and we'll get a lat long from it. Thank you.
We'll do 20 Victor Fox.
I'll get you in the road.
Yeah, where are you going?
Brooklyn.
Yeah, great.
Get in.
Thanks.
There is no fucking building, man. What can you do? I mean, just can't help it.
Got 15, you're right, go ahead. This is EMS, there's a major collapse
can tell you is, as you can imagine, absolute chaos. People were running, panicking just when the smoke and flames were going out. People were trying to head down south towards the World Trade Center when suddenly there was a large rumbling and the entire tower fell and collapsed to the ground. People came running north because of the smoke. It was billowing up Broadway. There's a thick black cloud of smoke. You can't even see down Broadway from the vantage point of City Hall. I've now moved inside a building, but all the buildings along Broadway here at City Hall are being evacuated. On my way up to this building, I ran into a woman who was in Tower 2 when the plane crashed into Tower 1.
What's the reaction of the people there, mostly tourists, I'm sure, and some working in the area?
To be honest with you, I've talked to a lot of tourists, and they're just, what do you expect? They're all shocked. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
It's hideous.
I know. I can imagine what it's like down there. We're sitting here. Every plane we keep an eye on. I imagine everybody throughout the city.
Looking
you see
up
a
at the
plane.
sky.
Yes.
I've had no luck making any communication except for I'm on a payphone. The cell phones are down. The displays are down.
Right.
I don't know why.
I think we know why.
We decided to come to this location. I'm with Frank Herzog. We were on a sports story. We decided to come to this location because this is a very likely spot for an act of terrorism.
Can't even see the second tower. It looks like right now that the World Trade Center is only one building. That's the way it appears from about 10 blocks north. You can see that the existing tower is on fire for maybe the top 30 floors or so. You can see flames shooting out on the west side of the tower, and behind and to either side are just big plumes of smoke, which almost look like huge clouds at this point. You can't even see a second tower. You can't see debris.
Fire Marshal Squad 282, Manhattan or citywide.
Squad 28, go ahead.
We're moving some people, be advised, moving some people to Chase back to Broadway. We're setting up an ad hoc emergency post with EMS personnel, okay? We could use more people because the place is filling up with edges.
All right, 10-4, we have multiple units on the way in at this time, Kate.
10-4.
A fire jet.
Mark, the best coordinated previous attack against the United States was nearly, was I believe in 1998, though we're going to have to check on that. You'll remember the two embassies in Kenya and Tanzania were attacked. 220 some people were killed, including 12 Americans. Early indications, according to U.S. officials who tell NBC's chief foreign affairs correspondent Andrea Mitchell, is that Osama bin Laden is being indicated because this note says he was the only terror leader with the capability of coordinating such an attack.
This took enormous coordination. This took a lot of money. This took a lot of complete disregard for human life. This took insanity.
Were they being shown?
So those officers going in here, as you can see, all kinds of fire workers going in there, literally in the thousands now converging on this site. We cannot give you much of an organizational sense beyond telling you probably what you already know, which is that two separate aircraft have struck the two towers of the World Trade Center. If memory serves, I think each of those towers stands 110 stories. Some of the dust, as you can probably see now, is blowing in our faces. It just really depends on which way the wind blows as to whether or not we're enveloped in some of the dust and the smoke.
Just your back.
Please don't.
Just your side. That's all I
Please
need.
don't.
As you can see from these pictures, the amount of dust from the fire that's still burning, flames and ash, is extraordinary at this point. And at least a few emergency workers have said that they really aren't so sure that other tower won't stay up now. They really didn't think the first one was capable of coming down, but it did. And so they're basically saying, keep back as far as you can. On the other hand, facing that danger, as we have been telling you, many, many hundreds of these workers are heading over those lines down towards that burning building to try to rescue those people who are in there, be they emergency workers, be they civilians.
Were you able to get any information from them?
Yes, I was in the building. Oh my God, you were in the building? I was on the 92nd floor of number 2. And I didn't see the first plane crash, but I was on the lower floor when the second plane crashed into number 2. And my brother's a photojournalist, and he's down there now. I hope he's okay. How did you get out? I walked down 92 floors, and I stopped on the 70-something floor because they said everything was okay, and the second plane crashed into the second building, right? Yeah. What happened? So it was the first step. Of course, at this point, everyone's concern is just getting north, getting away from the World Trade Center, as well as finding out where their families are. There are lines around the block to use payphones. Everyone is scrambling, trying to figure out what is happening here. We will bring you more as soon as we know it. Eileen LaPalmer, live.
1527 mode 3. We got a track number? 1527 mode 3. We got a track number?
Okay, we got a mode 3 on this United 93. How close are you?
1527. Yeah, I'm just writing it down so we don't... 3951 north. 07846 west.
This is the guy with the bomb on board.
Got it.
I just got off with the phone with the colonel detective. He has one E3 that was on its way out here that he understood that they got a call with us, Country 40.
Toledo was... Look for him. Okay, I need a track number. Okay. Okay, Dean. Weapon? Okay, apparently we got a United 993 will be airborne less than 20 minutes. Near Pittsburgh. Mode 3, 1527.
Any weapons? We don't know. We'll press with that.
We have anybody committed on the aircraft with the bomb on it?
We're getting to it. We don't know where it is. We're getting track on it.
Just pass that to weapons.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
United what? United 9-3, mode 3, 1527.
Negative
mode
clearance
3,
to shoot. Jamie.
1527, Brian.
God damn it. Foxy.
I'm not really worried about code words.
Fuck the code words. That's perishable information. Negative clearance to fire. ID type tail.
Hey, let your guys know also the White House.
Fucking nuts for going in there, bro. Get out!
What you are looking at now is a close-up of the enormous hole in the side of that building. That is exactly what happens when a plane hits the side of the World Trade Center.
Come along with us. I can't guess you how much we're going to help you come along as soon as we're able to keep that seat there. Try not to feel it anymore. M20 and M6.
Let's go to Lauren Ashburn now, USA Today. She's Lauren.
Frank?
This is
yeah.
Andrea and Buck.
Hi, Andrea. Hi, Buck. I am on the 22nd floor of the USA Today Tower 1 building overlooking this immense plume of smoke, the E-ring of the Pentagon. You can't even see it from this distance. There is a helicopter hovering over the site taking pictures and taking a look at what's happening inside. I'm looking down on traffic, which is completely gridlocked on Route 50 heading out of the city. Heading into the city on Route 395, you can see traffic is moving along quite quickly, and we have heard several...
It was a little difficult at first to figure out what was happening.
Guys, it's not worth it, guys. Come on. It's not worth it, guys. We don't know what we're breathing in.
Let's go back to New York City for a second. The latest reports now from the Associated Press does say that one of those towers, this is World Tower Center 1, the second tower hit, has collapsed. And now that's the second tower, and we believe that was the one hit higher up. We do not control this camera. It is from New York City. But the Associated Press is reporting that the second tower has collapsed. We don't know if that's a complete collapse, a partial collapse, or whatever. We hope to see it soon. Once again, you're looking at Tower 2, and this was the first one hit just after 9 o'clock this morning.
How do you fight a fire like this? You let it burn.
The only time that we really have any kind of comparative experience as to how to do this, rather how to compare it to, I suppose, is in 1945, a B-25, an Army B-25, just at the end of World War II, crashed into the Empire State Building, and that caused, obviously, a great deal of damage, but it happened at night, so the loss of life was not that bad.
It's
And Center 20 Victor Foxtrot coming up on that. Our coordinates are 4002.2, 7854.7. And looks like dark smoke on the ground on the edge of a field, bordered by a street area or forest area, the end of a road.
Okay, sir, are you seeing any kind of flames or anything?
No flames, black smoke, and it's the end of a dirt road near a wooded area. We're circling now.
Yes. We're standing there directing traffic on Morris Street and the West Side Highway. All of a sudden, a loud noise. Building came tumbling down, creating a lot of smoke and ash and gray and fire. Couldn't see a thing. Could not see a thing. I ran for my life, ran through the tunnel. It got so cloudy in there and foggy and choky with smoke, I couldn't even breathe. Somebody came back and gave me a lift out of the tunnel. It's scary, really scary.
Firefighters directed below the building, right?
I couldn't see that far. Everything came crashing down, everybody ran. I was directing traffic, there was people up there already, yes.
And there were people down below, too.
They were down below, yeah. I was 2 blocks away. 2 blocks away, and it was messed up. Yeah, as you can see, it's still coming down now. Still coming down. It is scary. One scary thing.
Rescue people because you have to risk your own life.
Can't. It's hard to see. I just found out from one of the guys that a plane hit the Pentagon, too. So I don't know what's going on. There's a terrorist attack now.
Your name?
Officer Mike Leto.
I know, it's hard. Leto, like the...
LETO from Truck Enforcement. LETO.
Can I have a number to reach you? Just, you know...
I couldn't believe that building crashing.
Oh man, I saw it. I saw it when I was over here. It just came down. They should have took those buildings down since the first bombing. The structure. I believe the structure was not sturdy enough. That's why it came down.
Well, this is the kind of attack that has fallen more into Tom Clancy novels than into actual response planning. Having said that, we've been anticipating for a long time. We've wondered why it's been so relatively quiet. The suggestions of Osama bin Laden's involvement. What has he been doing since Cole? Other groups out there with a real or imagined grudge against the United States.
Well, what the authorities did is they...
Hear that?
What?
Yeah, the officers trapped in the Chambers Street station. They're probably evacuating the people.
Let's go back to Dave, who is at the Pentagon site. Dave?
Hey, I just heard another explosion of some sort. Now, it could be a secondary explosion here from something happening, but we just heard a loud pop just as you were coming to me. It seemed to be on the east of here. I can't tell what it is. It might be something that's secondary to this because we had a number of small explosions after the fire occurred.
Dave, we understood there was construction. The area that was struck by the plane and what's on fire, was that the area under construction, so maybe there weren't a lot of people in that area?
There is, yeah, there's toward the south end of this area there are construction trailers, I can say that. But I can't tell you for sure if this area would be sparsely populated.
Would you ever predict the Pentagon?
Never.
No, I mean,
they
who knows?
thought there was a third one here.
What's that noise?
That's one of the military jets that's circling over the tip of Manhattan and the tip of Brooklyn.
Howard, this visibility's got to be shot. This has become one of those movies.
They must be trying to find that other plane if they're circling like that.
How many people do you think were in that World Trade Center at the time of this attack?
The two World Trade Centers together got to be over 75 or 100,000 people. I mean, it's a lot of people.
They said 50,000 people work in the two buildings.
Between 50 and 70,000 work in the two World Trades.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
And I've been in this business almost 40 years, and quite frankly, I couldn't have written a scenario like this. If I would have come forward with something like a possibility like this, they would have laughed. I mean, this has all of the worst case scenarios put together into one. This is monumental. This will be something that, you got Gary Condit in the news, you have O.J. This is something that we're going to be looking at for the next couple of years, unfortunately, and not just from a media perspective, but from the people who've witnessed this. I mean, when you think of the psychological trauma this is going to cause to New Yorkers and to Americans, it's monumental. It's off the map.
Two planes hitting the World Trade Center here in New York, and what this second explosion was that took place about a part of the
we are so blessed.
Tower has apparently collapsed.
Thank you, God.
We don't know if that was from the impact of this first plane that hit it, or whether something else has happened there. We'll work on that.
Bureau here in New York joins us on the phone. Alan, where are you?
Hi, Aaron. Our colleague Jennifer Westhoven also just arrived. She was closer to the building. I'm just south of Canal Street, about 10 blocks north of World Trade Center. And just before 10 o'clock, parts of the building began peeling away. People started screaming. Jennifer tells me, because she was a little closer to the building, that the police began yelling, "Run, run," and thousands of people started running away from the buildings as they were falling. That was, of course, followed by a onrush of ambulances and special police vehicles. Some people have told us, although I can't confirm this, that dozens of stories of the building have fallen away, maybe down as low as the 30th floor.
Michael, if you can hear me, we just heard another explosion down at the Pentagon building. We just heard another loud explosion down at the Pentagon building just seconds ago.
That's our Audrey Barnes, who is standing nearby the Pentagon, saying they heard a second explosion. Audrey, did you see anything, since these other attacks have been aerial? Did you see anything flying overhead just before this explosion?
We can't see exactly where the source of the explosion was, but you could hear it very clearly. It was a loud boom. And I'm looking for another plume of smoke. I don't see anything right now. It might be still in that same general area where the fire is burning right now, but you could clearly hear another loud explosion.
Tell me what you saw. Well, I was at my desk and I saw the building. I felt the building rumble. After that, I looked outside. I saw papers everywhere. Then I looked. I saw a big hole in the World Trade Center. Then we all evacuated our building. And when I went outside, unbelievable.
Obviously going on. It has the markings of a Middle East act of terrorism.
Why do you say that?
Well, often in the Middle East, when there's a bombing, a suicide bombing or a car bombing, you'll find a second bomb going off when the emergency response crews respond.
Right.
Cause maximum.
Which just happened.
They're so sweet, those people.
This is our worst case scenario. This is something.
A fourth plane has just crashed into.
In the security industry.
I'm not sure where.
This is something.
The fourth plane is.
And someone's on. Let me see. Someone's on the phone saying that Palestine and that Ben Osama bin Laden guy is claiming responsibility, whatever his name is.
Oh, the second plane was in Jersey, Aaron. Both from an investigative.
Hold on, I'll get to that guy.
From a response standpoint, is going to
another
be,
explosion hits lower Manhattan. Oh my God!
Impossible.
Clearly, you can only do so much.
Hold on, let me see what this guy's saying. Yeah.
The nature of the event is shocking. The fact that it's happened is not.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Really appreciate it. Kyle Olson.
Yeah, one quick thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
One quick thing. The suggestions that are floating around out there right now. There's apparently this claim from the Democratic Front for the Liberation of Palestine.
Right.
Very interesting to know. If this is legitimate, if this claim stands up, this appears to be the first time this group has targeted Americans. This group has primarily steered away from the more extreme end of the violence scale. They focused less on suicide bombings, more on gun attacks and that sort of thing in the territories against Israelis.
Well, if
this holds up, this is a very different tactic.
Well, if it is true, and of course the Democratic Front for the Liberation of Palestine was very much involved in attacking aircraft in the 1970s.
We're actually being asked to move back by Virginia State Police a little bit. We're going to try to keep this location as much as possible. The reason they asked us to move back is because, of course, they're concerned about any secondary explosions. I can tell you from my experience as a firefighter, there's still a great deal of fire inside the Pentagon by the smoke that's coming out of there. I'm sure firefighters are inside making sure first that they can get everybody out that they can and then trying to attack the fire inside. They've also had fire, of course, on the outside that probably involved some sort of airplane fuel. That's why it burned it's still burning, in fact, on the south end on the outside near those construction trailers. Again, I can't tell you much more other than a loud pop just a few minutes ago that seemed a little bit different than the ones we heard earlier, which were on the outside here that could have been tires or something else. We're just watching also as they're taking another man to the hospital. It looks like it's going to be a medevac, and what I can tell, it looks like he's burned. There seems to be a burn sheet on top of him. Medics are taking him to the U.S. Park Police Eagle helicopter.
Vehicles, and we have seen ambulances shuttling back and forth up and down the West Side Highway, indicating that there are rescue efforts in progress. We have not.
As you see the scope of this and the methodical way in which it appears to have been planned and happened, and again, we don't know what truly occurred, but there's talk of aircraft being hijacked, of second explosions, of et cetera, et cetera. What, if there are signals...
And again, just because we lost a little bit at the beginning, where are you physically now? This is
I'm just south of the Holland Tunnel in downtown Manhattan, perhaps 10 to 15 blocks north of the World Trade Center.
Got it. And the pictures that our viewers are looking at, this was that collapse of the South Tower just a few minutes ago here in New York.
I will call Peter Chip.
They all left. I'm the last one.
There's nobody up on 23?
No, they evacuated everybody down.
All right, they're probably going to the bus. Thanks.
Yeah.
I think we'll try to get a shot of that. We're going to show you over here on Washington Boulevard. The Eagle helicopter from Park Police is landing, taking this man to the hospital. From my vantage point, it looks like he has burns. We also, besides Arlington Fire and Rescue, see some doctors, what appear to be doctors on the scene. Not sure if they're military or not, who seem to be helping with the injured.
About 10 blocks north of World Trade Center. Just before 10 o'clock.
This dust is just starting to settle after the second World Trade Center collapsed. We saw it collapse and come towards us.
Sir, how you doing?
I'm doing well, as good as can be expected. I've got guys that will be launching in about 15 minutes.
Appreciate it. Are they loaded?
We've got hot guns. That's all I've got.
Well, that's good enough for me for time being. Only words I got another possible aircraft with a bomb on board. It's in Pennsylvania, York, approximate area.
Yeah, that's south.
Yeah, south of us. And there's also the possibility of another one that's possibly at Cleveland area.
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Do we have vectors on those?
Not yet. Looks like the one over Cleveland turned around. Looks like he's heading back. The guy down at York, Pennsylvania, he's heading northwest.
Okay, we might be able to get those two.
Yeah. And the call sign for the guy in York is United 93, mode 3 of 1527.
Okay, doesn't help us. We can't interrogate.
Yeah, okay, and I got this other guy out west. He's American. Where's that guy? Practice faded over Cleveland. Okay, I got one who just faded over Cleveland, Delta 89er, mode 3. I know it's not going to help you, but if you're talking to FAA, they might be able to help you. 1304.
Okay, when we get our guys airborne, they're going to contact you on 260.9. I've got 2 jets right now. Do you need more than 2?
Can you bring up 2 more?
Get 4 to them. Yep. Yep.
Okay, thank you, sir. And if you want to talk to Colonel Marr, he's up at 6403, sir.
Thank you. So you're a journalist as well?
I make videos, and my sister called me and right when it happened, and I knew I had to go. I actually got on tape the crashing down of the building.
Right at the Pentagon.
Audrey, from where we're standing, from where we're watching rather, it appears now we can start to see the shell of something there. Can you have any better vantage point on what may have, on an aircraft, see any wreckage at all now? It seems like the smoke is dissipating to a certain extent.
From what witnesses have said, they saw the tail of some type of aircraft go into the Pentagon building. I'm still trying to confirm that from somebody who's on the scene. But there's a couple of people who are coming from the Pentagon building that I'd like to see if I can get some information about that.
With Johnstown through Tower? Yeah. When he goes over to Tower? Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Imperial. Go for 06. If I can, I'm going to take him down towards that reported smoke area.
I just got it, Bill. I have it. I have a guy right over it right now. You can do what you want, but I have a guy down there at 5,000 feet, overflew it. We got the lat longs and everything.
Was that him?
And a report.
That was the United.
He sees smoke and he doesn't see flames. He sees smoke and.
Okay, I got positive ID. All right.
Okay, sir, can you see any kind of wreckage or anything out there?
As we get around this side of it, the smoke is blowing away from us. We do see flames. It's on the edge, like I say, of a wooded area and a fairly clean field. But I don't see wreckage. I do see flames now and dark smoke.
Okay, 20 Victor Foxtrot, roger. Roy, I'm going to keep you there for just one more second in case we need a little more information, if that's all right with you, sir.
Yeah, everything appears to be okay for us.
Okay, we think it was a United jet, sir, that was bombed.
Bob. Bob, you there? Bob? Okay, hold it a second. Wait. Bob?
Hello?
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, Howard, I'm here.
All right, what's this fourth plane?
Well, it's just being broadcast now, Howard, that a fourth plane, the two that hit the World Trade Center, then there was one at the Pentagon, and now a fourth plane has crashed into the South Tower and actually made the tower fall.
Is that right?
Oh, that was a...
God. And they're also saying that the Palestinians and Osama bin Laden are claiming responsibility for this. They've come out and said that they are the ones doing this.
Well,
They're not done yet.
Then let Israel loose. They're not done yet. Let Israel loose.
Let Israel loose. We have to do this.
Israel, let the U.S. loose.
Let me tell you something.
We have to go to war
it can be
with
taken.
countries where
It can be taken care of in an hour. We could wipe them off the face of the earth.
You don't want governments who would allow this to happen again to stand.
An hour's too long, Howard. In an hour from now, they could have 6 more planes crash into the city.
Where is the fourth plane hit, Howard?
The fourth plane crashed where?
Into the World Trade Center. Tower.
Into the South Tower.
The one that
We chose to stay in our hotel room because from our vantage point, we're in a corner suite of this hotel. So we have actually 2 windows looking out on the corner of our building at the World Trade Center. We could see the building number 2 was going to go, and my husband and I were having a debate, stay, go. And my husband said if it collapses, we'll be killed below. So we chose to stay in our room, which is where we still are on the 35th floor. And the building, literally, when it collapsed.
Where were you guys?
Well, we were working at 50th floor, World Trade 1.
Oh, yeah? On the 50th floor?
Like an earthquake.
And the building shook?
Yeah.
But it hit above you, right? So... So, were you able to get down in an elevator?
No, stairs.
You had to walk?
Yeah.
Was there total panic in the building? Yeah.
No. You were in part of that other blast? Just tell me, what did you see? What did it look like?
It just looked like a lot of smoke on the upper floors. That's all.
Collapsed. It looked like the entire building collapsed down on top of itself and spreading debris all over. I mean, it's a horrific scene. I just wish we knew who we were at war with.
What do you think of it?
I think it's terrible. You don't know whether it's an enemy from within or it's an enemy without.
It's horrible. There's no words for it.
There are no words, are there?
No.
This is time when Americans come together. Joseph Fichera.
Spell the last name, Joe.
Fichera.
Terrific. And?
Paul Sutherland.
Paul Sutherland, S-O-U?
S-U-T-H-E-R-L-A-N-D.
E-R-L-A-N-D.
It's terrible. My legs started shaking. I couldn't do anything after.
You saw them jumping?
I saw them jumping. You could see them clearly. They had their ties flying, their blue shirts. You know, it was terrible. Terrible, terrible.
And I've seen everything. I've been through everything. And this one tops it all in terms of the temerity, in terms of the planning, in terms of what the aftermath is going to be, the shock to the American psyche, to the American public. I mean, think about this. We try to calm people down by telling them, you know, the chances of you being involved in a terrorist act is very, very small. What do we tell people now when they walk around New York City and look up and see the trade towers on fire? We see other buildings exploding. We see people crying in the streets. I mean, this is a horrific event, and it's a very, very sad day.
This is a live picture of the scene now. We have crews on the ground, and they're trying to get back and show you the situation on the ground. As you can imagine, literally thousands of police, fire, rescue officials.
Mark, I want to remind you that the wire is saying that the South Tower there collapsed following this morning's plane crash. There is not yet confirmation of a fourth plane. We want to remind you the first plane hit the North Tower of the World Trade Center, which you see there still standing. Second plane hit the South Tower, which later collapsed. We're not sure if another plane was involved. A third plane hit the Pentagon.
Okay, first of all, tell us what you saw. You're talking with Fox 5. What did you see?
I was in the remote delivery facility, which is the area where they process incoming deliveries and so forth. We heard an explosion, and then about 10 minutes later, something came over the announcement saying to evacuate the building. So all we heard was an explosion. Nothing dropped in the ceiling or anything in the RDF, which is this building right here. I understand a plane has hit the building, so.
Okay, watch my back.
Hi, well, the scene gets worse. We just saw about 6 people jump out of the north building from the top.
Oh my God.
Just jumping out of the building to escape, I guess, what seems to be an unbelievable fire and smoke inhalation. There had to be 5 or 6 bodies.
Prepared for this kind of devastating attack. Because the Air Force was not in place.
I have questions, though. Why are these huge planes flying out of airports, hijacked, and nobody knows anything?
FBI knew about one of them.
No, but there's control towers that these planes are leaving their flight
Wait, here it is.
Third blast brought down tower.
Third blast.
Oh.
Maybe not from a plane.
Because the building could have blown up just because of the fire alone.
Well, they could have had a bomb on the...
Yeah, because that looked like a bomb.
I think what you're hearing in our background is Cabby is out in Brooklyn, and you can hear the you can hear military planes going over. You can hear emergency.
Mayor Giuliani established early on an Office of Emergency Management to coordinate all the government agencies involved. So you have coordinated leadership of police, fire, health, all the city agencies responding to that emergency. They've planned for this kind of event. Unfortunately, this is not a unique occurrence in the life of New York City or our country. Tragedies like this have happened.
It may not be a unique occurrence, but it is a very rare and extraordinary one.
It is extraordinary,
right.
And therefore, in New York City, we have coordinated response, and they're responding.
What happened?
Did the side of the building come down?
I don't know. Something fell. What'd you see?
It was pretty clear at one point, and then there's a whole bunch of smoke and glass. And I think we're just about the last ones in this building right now. I think you should leave. Everybody else is gone.
Okay.
I'll just make sure that there's nobody else coming downstairs.
What do you think happened?
I hear the top of the building fell down. Fell over on us. I don't know. I haven't seen outside yet.
Have you, when were you here? Were you here after the planes landed?
As a matter of fact, we're standing right underneath 6th World Trade when the building actually, the plane hit it the first time.
Describe it.
Yeah, a plane, the engine screaming, and then just an explosion. Glass. Then everybody was running around trying to get away.
Have your name and spell it?
Bennett, B-E-N-N-E-T-T-E.
Sergeant?
No, Secret Service.
Secret Service? How do you want your title?
OST.
OST, thank you.
All right.
No, at the time, we had MSNBC's feed up.
Right.
And we could clearly hear people saying in the background, "My God, another plane."
Really? Okay.
And then the South Tower disappeared.
No, you said you were inside the building when this happened.
Yes, the remote delivery facility, which is a wing of the new Pentagon. So there's parts of debris of airplane and stuff scattered along the road here. So, and then I just heard another explosion up there. So someone told me a airliner hit the building. So
anybody describe the plane to you? How large was the plane that hit the Pentagon?
It was a commercial-sized airliner. I'm not sure how big it was. The gentleman just said he was sitting on 95. The plane flew very low over his car and hit the building and blew his windows out of his vehicle. And he was on Interstate 395. So
looks like everybody's in shock.
It's unbelievable. It's a dark day, very dark day. And I just heard an explosion back over that way. I'm not sure what that was either. So I'm just trying to get home to my family and try to let people do what they need to do here and try to get people out of the way and let the emergency people do what they got to do.
Oh, man.
Jumping out of the building.
Oh, man.
And everyone here is just, I mean, it's a sight that you can't even describe. I'm doing a terrible job telling you what I'm seeing, but it defies words. It is the most horrible. I can now see some blue sky where the second building was, the south building. It's not there.
Even like,
Nice and orderly, no need to run. That's it.
The one that just collapsed, the reason for that devastating collapse was not an implosion. He's saying it was a fourth plane.
That's what's on the news.
How could a fourth plane possibly get through?
I'll tell you how, because they have hostages on there. Whatever the confusion is in this moment, we are not prepared for this kind of devastating attack.
Because
the Air Force was not in place.
In American history.
Dr. Kushner, I don't know if you're watching television, but we are now showing our very first pictures of some of the victims of this today, and we can see some horrific, what appears to be burns.
Yes.
Some serious injuries. Again, this is video that we have just gotten in.
Yes, I'm watching it. I can see it.
two planes going straight into the World Trade Center, and you can see the picture there, smoke still billowing, the fire's completely out of control. It's making the job of the rescue services extremely difficult. We've seen a few helicopters trying to get to the scene, but visibility must be extremely difficult for them.
That area was completely evacuated.
You know, if I might just interject this, I was involved in a civil litigation against the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey because I was representing with a team of attorneys who represented two clients who were in the B2 level. And the Trade Towers was warned many years in advance that there's a possibility of having a bomb placed in the bottom of the building. And my report showed that the construction of that building was in such beyond the code that even such a powerful bomb couldn't do the damage. But now looking at these pictures as we speak, it just, I'm choked up looking at it, thinking that this type of risk assessment wasn't there and we didn't have, but how do you guard against something like this?
So while officials may not have confirmed it, it seems fairly clear. Plus, the tower would not have collapsed absent some tremendous trauma.
Absolutely, and that seems to make sense, and that was my next question. Second explosion at Pentagon building reported, according to Dow Jones. That is literally just crossing the wires now.
A second explosion at the Pentagon.
A second explosion
Could we
at
get
the
up
Pentagon,
the Pentagon shot?
Is reported at the Pentagon.
Of a plane crashing at the Pentagon being evacuated, fire on the mall in Washington, the State Department evacuated, and we have all flights shut down across the country as officials sort out what's happening here. Randy, back to you for a second. How much of the, well, if I recall this correctly, there is what was called a bunker, the mayor's bunker for these sorts of events in the Trade Center, correct?
There is an emergency management center called casino where I expect you to bring in